All right, welcome on in, everybody. My name is AirAngel, and I will be on comms today for this amazing, amazing run of Hyperlight Drifter. It's one of my favorite games of all time, and I cannot wait to watch this run.
I can't wait to do this one. Hi, I'm Laurie. Uh, Welcome to Hyper Light Drifter. It's a action-packed adventure that is very pretty, if you can't tell from just this title screen. And I can't wait to get into it. So this run is new game. So newcomer is there's not really a category for, and these two don't really look like a standard new game. So this is just going to happen on a standard difficulty, and we'll choose this one, I guess. And if we're all ready to start, I can't spell Frost Vitalis, but I'm all ready to start. So are you all ready to go?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go.
Let's go.
So I'm going to immediately get into gameplay as soon as the run starts here and go for a skip. We'll see if I... Once the game loads, there it is. We'll see if I get this. If I didn't get it, you see I'm coughing right now. If I dashed in a particular way, I would have not had to cough, and that's a cough cutscene skip. There's a lot of those cutscenes where you cough in the game, and if you know, there are many ways to skip a lot of them, so that's a good thing to do usually. Getting into main gameplay, though, the main mechanic here is that I can dash in this set of 3. And that's going to be very useful for movement, not only because dashing is faster than anything else, but because there's a way to reset that counter. Each dash in succession has a pitch that's a little bit lower than the previous one, so I can use that to tell, hey, where I am. And you can use ledges to try and reset your chain of 3. So that's going to be very useful in just getting more dashes and having less downtime in between dashes. I picked up my first gun here, which is the pistol. It's very useful because not only is having a ranged weapon nice, but also it allows me to do what's called plinking, where I use the gun that I have equipped and the sword at the same time. And not only does that do damage from both at essentially the same time, but since the way you get ammo back in this game is hitting enemies with your sword, it makes it so I don't really run out of ammo. That's about it for this tutorial section here. Pretty short, easy area. So, AirAngel, I guess if you have anything you want to say about the game, go for it.
Yeah, so this was, I want to say, my second game that I actually speedran ever, but I played it on the Switch, and I played Alt Drifter, and I just think this game is gorgeous beyond belief. The storyline in it is pretty vague, but powerful in and of itself. So I really hope you guys enjoy this run today because it's honestly just a treat. It's awesome to come back to a run that I haven't seen in over a year. So haven't of it lately. So really excited.
And speaking of stuff that changes, I'm going to talk about the category. So new game is based on the difficulty I'm doing on. I'm playing as the main drifter, and I am doing standard difficulty. NMG, no major glitches, means that basically just bans a lot of wall clipping in this game. One major thing is that there is a very important glitch in the any percent route that allows you to clip through walls that, due to the difference between aiming on controller and keyboard and mouse, only works with controller. So, like, any percent on controller over keyboard and mouse saves a lot of time. This category, all of the controller specific stuff, and I think even some other stuff, is banned. So no matter what you're playing on, it's even, which kind of attracted me to this category because I much prefer this game on keyboard and mouse if it loads. I'm having a lot of loading issue right now. I think my PC is just not happy with me, but we're going to keep going. I activated a fast travel point there and then immediately paused and unpaused. That's because usually when you activate one, it tries to pull up the map, but doing that just kind of skips it. I got caught on a tree there. But once I get into this big area, we get to choose one of 3 paths to go to first, the north, east, or west. This route opts to go to the north first, and the major reason for that we're going to see in just a second is over here, and those are these bits. So this game does have like currency you can get to use in shops, and that there is a specific upgrade that is very good that I'm going to try and get by the end of this area. This area just has some of the quickest bits to get, and you need 4 bits to get like 1 coin, and we need 3 coins, so that's 12 bits. Each boss you kill drops 3 bits, so I can get a good chunk of my bits from there, but even still, that is 9 bits we have to get. There's one hidden down here, and I'm going to try a cutscene skip, because I haven't gotten either. Okay, there we go. There's finally a successful cutscene skip, because I failed both of them in the tutorial. I guess when it comes to collecting stuff, I can talk about what I actually need to get in each area. In order to access the final boss, I need to get 4 of these little purple triangles from each area, and then I also need to get, I need to beat a boss to activate a giant pillar. This game has no dialogue, so all like the terms are kind of like, there are official terms, but I'm not using even the ones I know just because it's meant to be very vague, and it does that very nicely.
Chat is saying, so is this game just Light Drifter after 5 cups of coffee? Maybe. Probably.
Yeah. Well, okay, we haven't gotten our last coffee yet. That's what I want to use the bits for. I also, am I at 1 or 2 HP? So I might heal now. I'm at 2. Okay. So I guess how health works, at the top left, you see my HUD. My pink is my ammo. My green, I guess you could call it green, is my health. And then there's a smaller set of green to the left of that, and that's my health pack. It's pretty easy. There's a button to use a health pack. And I can only carry a few. If you're full on health packs and you take another one, it just kind of heals you on the spot. So it's a little bit faster than, you know, using one and picking a new one up. First of the purple triangles, the modules that we need. I did another pause, unpause to stop the map from opening up automatically. And I'm going to keep going north, where we are going to get introduced to birds, who are not cool. So these enemies that I'm about to encounter are very mean because they do 2 damage at once. So they can kill you very easily, which is not cool. Something that is kind of cool about them, though, is that killing them in an arena full of them, there's usually going to be one that has a bit. So it's fairly easy to get coins in this area entirely thanks to them. Even in this secret hidden off arena, it's pretty cool. Which, speaking of this, I want to get this key from this skeleton here. So that's why I took my time to go to this hidden arena.
I always found it really interesting playing this casually, that there are nooks and crannies basically everywhere for you to find, and unless like you have 100% guide in this game,
you are not going to 100% this game.
Right, exactly.
For first time playing. So I'll go for a little
definitely
bit of a
worth the
risky bit
purchase.
here. I'm gonna go for a risky bit here that I got it. Nice. So you don't need to kill that arena at all. However, there is a bird in there that has a bit on them. So I usually try to see if I can get it. There's a backup bit on that same screen that's a bit slower if I don't get that one, but I like going for that one.
That's actually a pretty difficult strat to do.
It is. I think my PB doesn't even have it, because I was at the point where I would get a good run, but that was killing all my runs, so I was like, I'm just not going to do it.
Oh, exactly.
So an arena-based thing that's good in this game is if you want to learn the run, it's good to try and memorize where enemies are going to come out in the arena, just like I did there. Here's a map, force open skip, that's pretty funny. If I activate that travel point near the top of it, I can actually get off screen before the map auto-open. And that saves a little bit of time over pausing and having the map open.
I just like a little bit in the corner there. Like how how would you have ever have
Yeah,
found that ever?
it's one of those games.
Yep.
It's not as bad. I don't think it's as bad with the hidden collectibles as say like Hollow Knight,
Yeah,
where I get lost in
that's
that game all
true.
the time until I learned everything about it.
That's true.
There's also another bit back here.
Mhm.
Because like usually in this game, there are a lot more collectibles than like are required to beat the game, so you'll usually still beat it,
Right.
somewhat easily, even if you don't get everything.
Everything else is more of a convenience.
I am dead.
That's alright.
Death looks like. Um,
Just
that's
fall
not cool.
face to the floor, which is kind of brutal, but
Which
it's
is
okay.
kind
You
of
got
what
this.
I want to do all the time. Not die, but like fall on the floor. That's how I
Just
feel a lot.
take a nap,
Yeah,
restart.
that's what I was doing before this run, and it was nice. And then I got woken up by a Discord ping saying, "Hey, you have 15 minutes," and I was like, "Oh."
Wake up! You gotta do the good runs.
I got a game. Fortunately, I had practiced this, like, before the event, so I know
Right.
what I'm doing to an extent. I did that arena correctly, which is cool because that means I get to do the next part of the run. If I start to do something, like interact with an object, like a module container, for example, and open the map while interacting with it, I can fast travel on the map while also opening it, and then I don't have to watch the animation of Drifter warping out after the module opens. As you saw, I just kind of immediately left the screen as soon as that module was collected.
Some reason that was pretty hard for me to do with a controller, as well as I think it was like a reload of or like a switch of the weapons back and forth was pretty difficult for me for some
Oh
reason.
yeah, that's something we're gonna have to get into later when I pick up
Yeah.
a game that is super good.
Everyone was like, "You need to switch to mouse and keyboard," and I was like, "I'm done. I can't. I'm so bad at mouse and keyboard." But you're
So right
doing
here,
great so far.
yeah, right here, there's a 3-module door, so we need 3 modules to get in here. Fortunately, I have that. I don't have 4. I need 4 from each area. We'll get the 4th in here, obviously. I wouldn't, go somewhere without all the stuff I need.
Pretty risky.
Yeah, I agree. So there are enemies in this room that I'm not a fan of, and I got hit by them. That's fine. The attack I got hit by only does 1 damage, so
Damage boost, let's go.
it was not really a damage boost.
I know, I was just whatever.
I'm sorry to kill your positivity, but I'm surprised
no,
I
it's
didn't get
fine.
hit there. We can get excited about the fact that I only got hit. No.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do something here. Once I take this module out, once I see the autosave go through, I'm going to quit to the menu and continue game, which just kind of loads the last save that was made between any save file. Faster than manually picking the save file, but every time you get your 4th module in an area, there's this very long cutscene that plays, and that's not fun. So I skip it by doing that. That's the only time you'll actually see this, because every other one of those cutscenes gets skipped by the little warp out skip that I did earlier. But this is the only area where we actually get the 4th module before fighting the boss. So coming up is a boss, by the way. Speaking of bosses, this game is really
I call
hard
him
bosses.
Penguin Elvis, everybody.
Penguin Emperor. Some people call him Jerk Pope, which is my favorite.
That's a good one.
That's true. He will summon these squares, which are 2 damage attacks. So, and then summon birds, and he'll teleport around, and it can all be pretty annoying. I'm going to heal now. I'm going to play this fight very safe for the sake of, not wanting to die.
It's always a good strat.
Unfortunately, right before he wanted to die, to the bottom screen, where I have to go up after this fight happens. So not only did I have to chase him to the bottom of the screen, but now once I collect all these bits, I'm gonna have to go back up to the top. It's not the biggest deal, but So this is the last thing I need to do in each area. Giant pillar. This might look kind of funny because I actually am doing the warp out animation you see as compared to the module thing where you don't see that at all. However, in that little animation, I was still doing both at the same time, so I didn't have to watch both of them separately. So still faster. Yay. So before I go to my next area that I'm going to do in this run, because that's the end of the north, I'm going to go up here and I'm going to buy the chain dash, which is an upgrade to my dash that makes it a lot better. So now instead of only being able to dash in that set of 3, I have the stamina bar you can see at the top left, and I bumped into a wall. Let's get into this, because this is a very complex mechanic. Basically, I can now dash as long as I can keep a rhythm with my dash button, which, as you probably have been able to hear, is my spacebar. I obviously need to have stamina to do the chain dash, otherwise I will go back into that normal dash rhythm. And you also might notice that I am bonking. That is new to the chain dash. So you might also notice that I'm not like doing full chains. That's for more than stamina reasons. There are little special effects that happen if you do multiple or certain numbers of dashes in a chain. For example, once you do your 3rd dash, you are susceptible to bonking any dash after that if you run into a wall or like a solid object. And there's also skidding, which happens if you dash more than 3 times. So if your dash is 4 or 4, if your chain is 4 dashes or longer, you'll actually do this like little like slide on the ground once it's over. And that's not very cool because that makes it take a lot longer for you to start a new chain. For example, like right here, what I just did there, it's fine for me to do a full dash because that cough cutscene will interrupt the chain. And a lot of the time also, you know, if you're going into a loading zone, you can try and chain a dash all the way to the loading zone. But for the most part, doing those just 2 or 3 dashes are good because bonking is bad, skidding is bad, and it's good to prevent both of those.
Even the movement in this game is beautiful. It's like the contrails behind you are just gorgeous. Like every detail of this game was so well thought out. I just love the pixel art in general.
So there's a I bonked on a tree. There's a fast travel point there, but I don't need it. So yeah, you can see there. I just kind of dashed down that staircase and then I can try to chain a dash into a cough cutscene here. This part of an area kind of likes to drag on my stamina, but fortunately we're going to be at an elevator. Cutscenes like this can usually be seen as somewhat annoying because you kind of just have to watch this where not a lot happens and it has to load in and out. But I'm fine with it because I'm fine getting stamina back. It's perfect. So here I have to open this gate, and then we're going to get introduced to these new these guys are pretty scary, actually. And the main reason is when they're doing that dash attack, they're completely invincible. So I want to try and kill them before they get one out, which is if I do my plinks good and I do 2 damage at a time, they only take 3 hits. One thing I haven't mentioned, but you might be able to tell based on where my controls are, and if you've played this game where your controls aren't, but this is good to know if you haven't played this game, the controls in this game are entirely remappable to whatever you want them to be. So like something like plinking, where I have to consistently press 2 buttons in quick succession seems really hard, but like I have the first weapon that you're supposed to use, the gun, I have that on left mouse button, and then I have the sword on right mouse button. And plinking just becomes like the easiest thing in the world. I stay as I mess up a plink and get hit by an enemy.
Knowing the spawn points in like kill rooms like this is so convenient. Because like trying to route anything in general, if anything's automated, it's always a plus.
Okay, just dash into the water, that's fine. I'm about to get a heal anyways. So that key that I picked up in the north, I'm going to use on this door right here, because there's a module behind this door. This is a very difficult screen. So I'm going to try and concentrate here. Okay, I got to the module. Now I have to get out of the room.
This
I
is,
guess
this is one of the most difficult rooms, in my opinion.
it is. Yeah, no, this is a room I struggle with a lot. I guess once we're out of this room, though, is probably one of the best times for donations. I am stuck behind an enemy, though. All right, I'm through. So yeah, now that that's over, now's a good time for donations.
Well, we have a reminder that for the Battle of Olympus, we have a bid war for our character names. So we currently have a tie for our character name. So try to get those donations in and you can change the fate of the run.
The dog percent.
The dog.
This game is so beautiful. I'm just like entranced by it.
Yeah.
So, someone said that this kind of reminded them if you mixed A Link to the Past and like Celeste, and honestly, I can't stop thinking about it.
Oh, that's
I
perfect.
kind of see that.
I can't stop thinking about it now.
All right, well, we should think about some donations. Do we have any of those?
We are caught up for the moment. Still waiting to see if we have some tiebreakers for our next run character name. And of course,
next run.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's the last minute. You guys should donate right now if you want to see that character name change. What's leading in that character name?
Let's see. Character name. It looks like we have for the main character between Faith and Ribbit.
Faith and Ribbit. Who would have thought?
And then we're between, I think, Cheese and Melly and Frog for our girlfriend's name. We have, I think, a tie between Cheese and Melly.
A girl cheese.
I know. I love it.
Seems like there's too many ties and not enough donations for that, right? You ask me.
Go for it, people. Change the future. You can do that now.
Also, I mentioned skidding earlier when a big chain ends. You probably saw a few skids there when I went for really large chains and dropped them. As you like get further into a chain, it does become harder to try and uphold that chain. So sometimes going for big chains like that doesn't always work out. Sometimes it does, you know. Also, for some reason, in this arena, you don't need to kill every enemy. I decided to kill the wrong enemies, though, because I don't know. Oh, okay, I guess there was an enemy there that's still chilling.
So has to be mostly dead.
Yeah, I killed too many frogs, sorry guys. Speaking of killing a frog, though, I'm about to fight a really big one. So if I'm gonna shoot a pistol shot as I move in here, and if it hits him during his cutscene, it skips his opening cutscene, and then I'm gonna do this. So this boss has like a close range in which they're supposed to do this bash attack. However, part of that range is behind the hitbox for the bash attack. So for that whole fight, if I just stand in the part of the area where the game wants me to do the bash attack, but not in the hitbox, it's free.
It wrecked.
Yeah. I think our froggy friend just didn't want to fight us, and that's what the most beautiful part of it all is. Here's our big pillar. But we're still not done here, because I still haven't picked up my 4th module. Before I do that, I'm going to go pick this up. This is the other gun we're going to use in the run. The shotgun is very good, because with plinking, we like to get close range for the most part, because that's just effective with a sword. And the shotgun, the way it works is that, obviously being a shotgun, it has a spread of multiple bullets that are all somewhat close range. So plinking with the shotgun can get us 6 points of damage in one plink, assuming all 5 of the shotgun bullets hit. And that is, I feel like that's a lot better than the 2 we were doing previously.
No, and you're right, you're right. Always go for the shotty.
Yep, although what you might be able to see left is that the guns use the same ammo bar, but they have little different increments. The shotgun unfortunately uses double the ammo that the pistol does, so ammo management becomes a little bit harder in this part of the run. So we're heading into the west, the third area that I'm going to be doing in the... Immediately, there's a module we can get just by going down here. I tried to do a little style there, and
If I remember correctly, there are some not very nice dogs in this area.
Yeah, this is quite honestly my least favorite area of the run. It's not the hardest, although it is pretty difficult. I'd say south is the hardest because of the way that the south works. You're supposed to go to it last, so of course it'd be more difficult. But this area just kind of has a lot of
so
more annoying enemies and an arguably worse boss. Although it does have some pretty cool skips that we'll get to later. For now, we have to deal with trees, though. I'm going to be doing a lot of 2 chains here because if I do a 3 chain, I'm susceptible to bunking. And these tree hitboxes are nowhere close to where they look like they are. So...
Chat brings up a good point. I definitely got lost in this area when I was playing it casually.
Oh yeah,
I had
no, everybody
no
does.
idea where to go.
I always recommend people, when I'm trying to get people into this game, I always recommend that they start with the east. That's my recommendation. And if they don't want to do that, I'm like, please go north, because I wouldn't wish starting with west upon like my worst enemy.
Yeah, exactly.
So the loading zone to the next screen extends a little bit too far there, and I don't have to fight that arena. So that's good, because that arena can be annoying. Casually, that is. I've never tried to fight it with plinking, because I don't have to.
Right.
We're going to activate this fast travel point, because we're going to need it later. There's a module in this area that's faster to get later. We're just going to try and kind of beeline for the, what's it called here? The pillar here. There is one pretty far out of the way module I'm going to get. The way the tree hitboxes work there's actually an opening in that tree that I just walked through to just go behind that wall and skip another arena.
Incredibly convenient if you know where it is.
Yeah. It's nice.
If you could get through west, it makes, well, south is still pretty difficult, but it makes the rest of the game not as difficult.
There we go. This is an area where I'm going to try and... there are certain tiers of what gives your ammo back, and obviously living enemies and bosses are the best things for getting ammo back. Stuff like hitting boxes and crystals aren't as good, but I do want to try and have full ammo leaving this area, which is also difficult considering sometimes it's good to plink these crystals just to get damage on them faster. I don't have the shotgun out right now because that would just use way too much ammo compared to what I want to use. So I grab my second module and get out of this little area down. This is upcoming. Let's see how many dogs die. Okay, they all died. Okay, and I got caught on the spikes. There we go. That was good. That's another kind of scary section. Big enemies in this game are big and scary.
The crystal monster is not great if you get stuck behind him. You're just sitting there getting impaled by crystals.
Yeah, there's a boss. The boss coming up has crystals involved in their boss fight. Oh boy, it's great.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm gonna grab the health pack that's there, though. I'm just gonna keep going. 3 health is fine. For now, I think. Until the next part where I'm able to get one without losing any time.
This next boss was the major boss that I had issues with controller and like switching between the weapons, and it was just my dexterity does not want to do things.
Yeah, that's understandable. I will talk about weapon switching in a second when we get there. But for now, I'm just gonna keep moving. For now, I guess. Oh, that was almost nice. Oh, the bump gave me invincibility. Let's go. I was worried about that one. I guess.
That was really nice.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and skip a cutscene that's right here. I'm gonna dash through there. There we go. And you can see that guy acting out a cutscene, but I'm not forced to watch it. So, I guess real quickly before the next boss, if we have any updates on donations, if we have any new donations for Battle of Olympus before, this would be the perfect
We do
time.
have a donation from Danstad for $7.50. He says, "Greeting all. I heard something about breaking a tie for Battle of Olympus. I like ties though, so I'll toss in a new name for the hero, Court. Here's hoping she likes grapes and olives, or else I will feel silly. Keep on grooving, all."
Thanks, Danstad.
Thanks, Danstad.
All right, so this boss is not fun. I'm gonna try and get a specific chain getting into this fight, so I slide right up to him like that, because this boss is actually, to an extent, you can manipulate what he does with your own movements. That's not very easy to do, though. So you notice that every time I want to use the weapon, I'm like switching back and forth between the pistol and the shotgun. And that is because, okay, I hate this. That's a fun little effect where your health, once you use the med kit, starts to climb up very slowly. Or not very slowly, but it doesn't all happen at once. I got hit in the middle of healing, so I didn't get my full health back.
It's alright, you got this.
So I died there. The ideal situation in this fight is that once he does this set of attacks right here, he just starts like restoring these crystals for the rest of the fight and never attacks me directly again, like that. If I get one more good shotgun hit on him, he should be gone. There we go. I'll take that fight second try in an event like this, especially because that there. I have no ammo though. That's fine, because I'm about to warp out.
And like if the fight keeps going, there's other enemies that come out of the crystals,
Yeah,
and it
you
just
can
becomes
see-
insane.
Yeah, you can see when I mentioned I wanted him to doing the thing where it summons the enemies for the rest of the fight, that thing was very obviously summoning enemies. That's not good, but obviously you can control him to make it better. As I mentioned, he's a lot based on your character movement. There's a boss later in the run, another one, that is also kind of based on your character movements, but is still kind of awful. We'll get to that. There are a lot of dogs here. Ideally, those dogs will get caught on that bottom bush. I didn't do a very good job of that, but I did get the module. Yeah, you can see that one dog right there in the middle of the stream that's stuck on the bush. So he wasn't able to get to me, and that's just one less dog I have to waste my time. West. With all 3 of those areas cleared, we can now go south. Which you'll see, I think, on the end of this screen. I bonked into a rock. But once I get through there, you see these little things here on the ground that are pointing up, left, and right. Those are the little indicators that you have to finish each area in order to get here. So south is a very different. It's this open desert kind of you see I'm in, but under it is a lot of stuff going on. And there are all these different places to go. This area has 4 different bosses in it, I believe. So that's fun. The first place we're gonna go is this way, because the major boss, I said there are 4 bosses, but there was actually only one guarding the pillar that we need to activate this area. So that's what I'm going to consider the major boss. There's a one module door guarding the major boss, and there's no like module in that area where the major is. So I'm gonna have to go all the way through this little area just to get a module, so I can go through the one module door. Okay, I managed to activate this bridge without anything super bad happening. The strategy there is to try and go behind the switch so that no enemies can gang up on you too much at one time. And okay. I have to watch for these slime guys to spawn, because a lot of them spawn. And I have to watch out that after that arena, I don't get crushed by these blocks. Because if you do, that's insta-death. And that means you have to do the arena at the beginning of that screen over again, which I don't like doing. I'm dead! That's what happens when you mess up. It's fine.
It's alright.
I'm at low health entering the screen. You can see I'm at 2 HP and still not trying to heal because I'm at full health and or I'm at full health packs. Okay, that was a snipe and a half. I'm at full health packs and there is a health pack right here. So once I take this, I'm at full health now. I need to kill these enemies to get into here. This upcoming boss can be tricky if I'm not good. So let's be good, please. This is the Mimic. I'm gonna pull out this module, and it's not actually a module. So I have to do this not only... There we go. That was a really good fight. Despite a misstep in plinking, I was able to get back on rhythm. Not only do you have to go pretty there in order to kill the Mimic before it starts moving around, because it starts moving around after a little bit, and it fires a ton of bullets. It's very hard to hit from that point. But not only that, you usually don't have enough ammo to do that whole fight on just blinking. So you have to get close enough so that the little things it spawns at the beginning of the fight get in your sword range, so you have enough ammo. But if your position and timing are good, you can get a kill just like I got. Also, that's a funny little glitch. I did a chain to an elevator, and then I started skidding, but was still able to activate the elevator because of how I was moving, so I went to the elevator all the way from over there. That doesn't do anything. It's just a funny little visual thing you can do with the chain dash. So right here is that one mod. So we're going to open that, and now we're going to be to the major boss of the south. Okay, that was rude.
Satisfying, we hit $25,555.
Nice. That's a nice number.
Someone donate 30 grand to make it all fives.
Yeah, just give us $30,000. It's crazy to think that if someone donated $30,000 on the largest donation. This event has been crazy.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So I picked up a module there, and then I'm going down here to pick up another module. This area is a little bit funny, this elevator I just went down. So I can go up here, and there's this hidden area up here, and then I can dash right there and get on this tiny form and skip a bunch of stuff. It's pretty nice. You can see all that stuff to the left that I didn't do, which is, I love not doing things. Nice use of those explosive barrels to not have to deal with like half that arena. That enemy is very confused.
Such confusion.
Mm-hmm. And now that I have 3 modules, I am about to head to one of the hardest parts of the run for me. It's another boss. The hardest parts of this run for me are basically that west boss that we fought, the guy with the sword, and this boss we're about to fight. So the main thing I want to do is try and get through this. because I like to have full health for this upcoming boss, and I got hit. There's a small bit of platform I can stand on here to try and get over here, to try and grab this health pack. And then I'm going to try and get back on that platform. That didn't work out like I wanted it to. Can I get back on that platform? Okay, I'm back on the platform. All right, well, I tried to heal, and I didn't do that. So let's get into this boss. The Archer is a meanie. He, similarly to the boss that we fought in the West, is kind of manipulatable based on how you move. However, unlike that boss in the West, he is much quicker, and therefore can be harder to control. One thing, though, is that he has bigger periods of standing in place, so I usually find it easier to rack up damage on him quickly. As you can see there, I killed him. I was not expecting to do that first try.
Yeah, it was a great fight.
That's another kind of scenario of fight similar to the West boss, where the longer that boss is alive, the fight gets. Because landmines start to go out, and you start to lose control on where the Archer's moving, and it's not fun. So I'm glad I managed to do that fight. I get to activate this pillar and warp out at essentially the same time, because we're almost essentially on top of the warp point right now. And I still need one more module before we get to head into the final boss. So... oh, that slide was almost really cool. So, what's the thing we do after all that super challenging level? Dang it. I tried to frame this part as easy and I messed it up. There we go. So yeah, that's a little challenge that unlocks with the little barrier arrows you might have saw after we beat the Archer. So, have to do that in that order, but we now have everything we need to go into the last game. So, here we go. There's just a really big elevator and then a really big staircase, so like donations, talking about incentives, questions, anything goes.
So, well, if we have time for a donation, have an update on our bid war.
Mm-hmm.
I have $20 from Zoetbix, says Ribbit and Frog, they go together like ants on a log, cold chills and fogs, peat mummies and bogs, gear sprockets and cogs. Let's put $5 to Ribbit and break the tie. Let's get Frog back in the running with $15. Hyperlight Drifter is so gorgeous. Good luck on the run, Laurie.
It's been going pretty good. I had a few missteps, but overall I died like, what, twice? I think in a marathon? That's good. I mean, I have a chance to die on this final boss, but I hopefully won't.
I believe.
I'll say this now, just so I can jinx it. But it is between the 6 bosses we fight in this run, what I believe to be second easy. So, here goes nothing. Yeah. In difficulty, I'd put this right in between the Mimic and the Frog. If I do things right, it can't really go wrong, but this is the definition of a fight that, like, not only kills your bitrate, as you might notice, but it's a definition of a fight that is a downhill spiral. If it goes wrong, it will go really wrong.
Yeah. The longer it progresses, the worse it's going to be for you.
Yeah, because at the beginning of his attack cycles, Judgment here is his name, he can't really do too much other than stand around before his attacks begin, but once his attacks start to go off, they are very hard to hit him in between. I can use these little things that spawn in between attack cycles, though, to get my ammo back to full, and that was a really good fight.
Oh, jeez.
So, I have a little bit of a sequence here where I have to walk downwards. At this point, when I walk downwards, if I try and open my menu, I will force a cough, which, as you've seen with cough cutscenes, coughing's not fun. If I try and switch weapons, it'll cough. If I try and heal, it'll cough. If I try and dash, you get the point. And sometimes the game will just cough on its own, like that. So I'm going to be holding down for about a little bit less than a minute, and time is going to be when I stop moving, which is not on this screen, but on the next screen. I have to move right a little bit here, otherwise I'll hit a tree branch near the bottom of the screen, and that's no good. Even in the end of the game, the tree hitboxes hate. So time is when my elbow hits this pillar right here, and time.
It's such a beautiful game.
It is. That was a great run.
Yeah, GG's.
GG's.
So I guess a few shout-outs, big shout-outs to AirAngel for helping me with commentary. I did have a lot of fun. And thanks to a lot of people in the community that are very nice, especially like those who made the tutorials and those questions. I was very nervous about telling the community in particular that I was doing this run, because I am not particularly the greatest runner of the game compared to some others, but I still had a lot of fun with it, and that's really all I can ask for. So, thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me on as comms for this beautiful, beautiful game. If you haven't played this, please do yourself a favor. Just check it out. It's definitely worth the price. Everyone has a great rest of your day, week, month, forever. And I am super stoked to see what we have up next in the Frame Fatales Marathon. All right. Thanks, everybody.
Ribbit.
Well, thanks so much, Laurie and AirAngel. We have a $5 donation from Vanished Hero that says, "Hello from Germany. I like this game very much in a casual run. You're doing an amazing job there. Keep it up." Yeah, that was a beautiful run. We have a donation, $5 donation from Uno Squid. Thanks so much for that $5 donation. Okay, our next run's going to be the Battle of Olympus. We're going to be closing this bid war as soon as this run begins. Currently, we have Ribbit in the lead for the character name, and Melly in the lead for girlfriend's name. Final reminder, or I guess we'll be reminding you all evening about our first bonus game, Oblivion. Let's try to keep donations coming in for Oblivion. I'm super excited to see that. But I think we are ready for our next game, which is going to be the Battle of Olympus. Let's throw it over.